In this video, we'll be looking at a really hardcore trading strategy that is used on trading floors around the world and is possibly the source of the most consistent profit opportunities available to an FX trader. I'm talking about trading the live audio news squawks. The news squawk is simply a team of analysts sat around a gigantic wall of screens staring at all of the premium news feeds that cost thousands of dollars every month. These feeds deliver market-moving news in microseconds after it happens in the real world, and the name of their game is speed. This is why we have an audio squawk, so that the analysts don't have to waste time typing to get the news out to traders as quickly as possible. They shout it out as soon as they see it and then type it up as a headline after. This speed is what gives us a chance to immediately enter the market within seconds and take advantage of any events. These squawks were born in the trading hubs of New York and London to facilitate firms that had dozens or even hundreds of traders in their offices. Premium news is very expensive, so to give every trader their own feeds to all the possible news sources is just impractical, as these services charge per desk rather than per firm. The solution was for these firms to create a specialised team of analysts that would sit in a room, watch the screens for any information and then squawk it. As they did this, they built an infrastructure that allowed the analyst to shout or squawk information to the trader's desk where he would hear it instantly. This also separated the task of analysis and trading to make both much more efficient and specialised. Over time, the analysts broke away from their firms to set up independently, which mean now that multiple firms could take advantage of the same squawk for a fraction of the cost. As technology developed, these squawks are now available to even professional traders operating from their homes. Now, the key difference between trading the audio squawk and trading risk events is that when you trade the squawk, you have no idea which currencies you will be trading or which way you will be trading them, because these events are by their very nature unexpected surprises that the market quickly reacts to. On the flip side, this is probably the most intense and exciting form of trading, and you should try it at least once. So what are the steps for practicing this? Well, the routine is pretty simple. You need to be at your screens for at least 1 hour before the start of each session. In practice, this means 6 AM London time for the European session and 7 AM New York time for the North American session. The Asian session is generally not as active unless you are trading a specific risk event. When you sit down, you need to catch up with your research and find out what's been happening during the time since you were last trading. Do this by simply reading the research articles and the latest analysis in the newsfeed. The next step is to make sure you have the audio turned on and loud enough to hear clearly when information comes through. You also need to make sure that your trading platform is open and you have it set up so that you can cycle to any of the major currency pairs within a second or two to place a trade if you need to. The way that I personally approached this was to simply set out my trade size for the day so I can just select the pair and jump right into the trade without having to think about position size and adjusting the lots. My standard size was 1 mini lot per trade for every $10,000 that was in the account. So if there's 20,000, I would simply trade 2 mini lots per trade. This is low risk and simple, but most importantly allows you to be fast. If you're trading a very small account, then you would simply trade in micro lots and trade 1 micro lot for every $1,000 in the account. Now you're set up and ready to go. Ideally, you would have the charts in front of you so that you can see the prices moving and the audio on loud with the trading platform also within easy access. I personally use 3 or 6 screen setups, but anything in between is good. After this, it's all about listing out for anything that you feel will surprise the market or cause it to think that it's currently pricing a specific currency wrong. Again, the best way to get good at this is simply to do it and watch how the prices moves as these things are squawked. But there are some common things you can look out for to give you a running start. A big one is when someone attached to a central bank says something out of character. For example, if someone that works for the bank, usually a committee member or even the head of the bank themselves, says that they think the interest rate should go up, but we know that historically the market views them as someone that likes to keep interest rates low, then this would be a major event to try and trade and take advantage of. The reason this would move the price is that if the people in the bank that usually try and keep the rate down are thinking of increasing them, then the likelihood of it happening are bound to be much higher, which in turn leads the market to thinking a rate hike could come next. To help you with this, we provide an updated cheat sheet which you can see which central bankers are hawkish and which ones are dovish, so that over time you will learn to recognise whenever any of them are speaking out of character. Print this off, have it on your trading desk at all times. One of the very useful exercises you can carry out to get really good at this is to read the daily calendar each morning as part of your research to see which central bankers are due to talk or conduct a press conference that day. Then you can check the cheat sheet to see what their general stance is. For example, are they hawkish or dovish or neutral? Then when their comments start coming over the Squawk later on, you'll have a better chance of realising whether the market will be moving much more quickly. Then there are many more general things that will cause the price to move and the markets to react. For example, a central bank member of any persuasion stating their support for a move against the backdrop of a market thinking that the bank won't do anything anytime soon can also give opportunities for profit. The basic principle of trading the audio Squawk is to be fully aware of what's going on with every major central bank, what the market's current expectations are regarding that bank, and then any new information that comes over the Squawk that could be perceived as new or unexpected. Rather than going into this form of trading looking for specific things, simply trade during the session with the audio on in the background, and as things are announced, simply watch the price and how it responds. Every day you will see prices of currencies move up and down almost in sync with what type of news is flowing over the Squawks. If you can trade in this way day after day, it won't take long before you become extremely efficient at spotting the opportunities to make money via the news feeds. As ever, the best approach is to practice, practice, practice and just see for yourself how the markets react to certain events and information so that you can be ready the next time a similar thing happens during the session. But trading the news feeds is a source of the most reliable and consistent flow of trading opportunities on a normal daily basis.